So have you got no one else for me to lock up today then?
We've been to Lance Rock to investigate rumours and see if we could find any trace of the delegation from Mirabar that we were looking for.
It certainly wasn't clear.
The cave had been taken over by a necromancer. After we dealt with the necromancer's spirit, on our way out of the cave, we stumbled upon a gang of 5 men. I didn't get a good look at them, but I did hear their names and what they were discussing. The man in charge seemed to be named Hordan. There was also Garrick, Abel and Fletch, who seemed to be his minions.
Right.
And they mentioned a 5th man by the name of Larak, whose orders they seemed to be following. From their words and their actions, they seem to have been sent there to take whatever bodies they found were in the cave and to dispose of them.
We have had something of an increase in missing people over the past few months. The disappearance of your Mirabar delegation is just the latest, but perhaps these men are behind that.
There are at least 4 bodies in the cave.
My men and I really need to investigate this. We may be able to identify them.
I suspect Hordan and his men did not take them far to bury them.
I'm going to take my wagon up there with some of my men. We might be able to bring some of these bodies back. I suppose if we set off soon, then my men and I should be back sometime before midday tomorrow. I've barely known you 2 gentlemen but a day, but you've already proven that you can be trusted. I will leave a man here to watch over the prisoner, but I would appreciate it if you would keep an eye out for any further trouble until we get back tomorrow. He looks around at his 2 deputies and he quickly snatches somewhat of a copper badge attached to them. Here, there's one for each of you, and if you wouldn't mind, perhaps giving one to your captain friend as well.
Certainly, Constable. We'll go and see him now, I think.
Now, if you're unsure of anything or need any assistance, then get in contact with one of the village elders. They're the ones who effectively run Red Larch.
I'm sure nothing will happen. It'll be a breeze.
Shall we go and catch up with our friend the captain?
Yes, I suggest we do that and then get some rest.
You're going to head back to the
Where is the
Swinging Sword Inn, where the captain was staying.
Yep, makes sense.
You head north.
Yep.
Let's head inside after you, my friend.
You see the same one-eyed gentleman again, not the captain, inside, and he grunts, he goes, "Ugh."
And nod and wink back to him.
Good evening.
As you walk inside, however, there is no sign of the captain. The innkeeper, Kaelessa, seems to be tending behind the bar.
I'll go and pull up a chair.
Kaelessa nods and goes, "Oh, hello again."
We were just wondering if you'd seen our friend the captain.
He briefly came in, then he left and said something about he needed a good drink, but I don't know what's wrong with our inn here.
Cheers to that.
He's a picky fellow.
I suppose he's probably at the helm across the street.
No, we must take our leave. We have business with the captain. Farewell.
Oh, say hello from me, and his room is ready and made whenever he wants it.
Okay.
Right across the long road from the Swinging Sword Inn stands a ramshackle 2-story tavern. Rusty metal grills cover its small, dirty windows.
Looks like a classy place.
Well, let's open the door and go inside.
Sat at the bar, as you enter, you see a gentleman walk past and pat him on the back and then order another drink. As you get close, you can just see that there's a whole array of glasses at the bar that the captain seemingly has helped himself to.
Good evening, Captain. You seem to be having fun.
Hello, my friends. How did things go at Lance Rock?
We had a run-in with a necromancer.
Perhaps I had the easier job.
There was nothing we couldn't handle.
Good to hear it. I had hoped to bring the Goblin back quietly for questioning, but alas, the townfolk saw me and practically the entirety of Red Larch made a huge fanfare of the occasion. I suppose I didn't really help making a subtle return in bringing back that ogre's head for Harper. I thought there might be a reward.
There's reward enough on the bar, Captain. Everyone seems to be buying you drinks.
That's true, I better stop soon, otherwise I'm going to have a headache in the morning.
Before you do, I have a deputy's badge from Constable Harburk.
So he's got us working for him now. I'm fairly convinced that the Goblin had nothing to do with the delegation's disappearance, though he did have some useful information. He saw the delegation arrive in the village of Belliard, to the northeast from here. From what people say, it's a couple of days' travel. It was my next port of call for finding the delegation.
Let's hope it's enough to go on. We've been left in charge by Constable Harburk until he returns tomorrow at midday. I would suggest that we set off towards Belliard tomorrow afternoon.
I think we'd have an easier and faster journey if we hired some mounts for travel. The only stables I've seen so far are the ones belonging to the tavern across the street from where I'm staying.
Yes, I hope they have some ponies.
The captain is looking at something on the bar, reaches across and picks it up, passes it to Wellby. Is this yours? He hands you a note, and on the front is writing saying, Wellby?
That certainly is my name.
What is it then, Wellby? Some kind of love letter or something?
Not the kind of love letter I like. And I show it to Talyn and the captain.
Yep.
I wonder why this is addressed to you specifically.
Actually, can I guess from the handwriting?
Roll an investigation check. You do believe that you recall this handwriting from Waterdeep many years ago. You believe that handwriting belongs to Gaelcamp.
Melandro, the criminal from across the street.
Yeah, okay.
The captain shakes his head and says, one should be very careful of associating themselves with criminals. I know this from experience.
I have experience of this criminal, Captain, and he's a decent enough sort. There is honour among thieves. Well, some of us.
There always is until they stab you in your back.
Yeah, I'm not sure that this friend is as friendly as he's making out.
He's gotten me out of many a tight scrape in the past. I think we should trust him. And he's not told us where to go either. If he told us to go to a particular place at a particular time, maybe you should be worried.
Is there a quieter corner of this establishment we could sit to talk about this?
Maybe we could go back to the swinging sword, to my room.
Let's go to the captain's room and talk about this in private.
As you walk in, the captain looks at the other one-eyed gentleman. Are you the stable master?
Renfelder, I'm the stable master here.
We would like to hire some horses.
You want a horse? I've got one horse left. She's a draft horse, not a riding horse. Strong and calm, though. 50 gold pieces.
I don't think we could all fit on it.
Mary's good at pulling a cart or a wagon, if you had one.
I can hire a wagon.
If you want yourself a fancy wagon, go and see the Talyn brothers. That's just further up on the other side of the road. But if coin's an issue, then maybe go to Wilver's Wagon Works at the town centre. He makes most of the wagons used for the quarries, so they're certainly sturdy enough.
Captain nods and goes, well, how long will the 50 gold pieces hire her for?
110 day.
That should be long enough. Don't worry, I'll cover this.
Thank goodness.
Thank you. Come and find me in the morning. I'll give it to you. Till then, good night. You're not going in the room together, are you? Well, none of my business.
Indeed, it isn't.
And the captain disappears into the room here. We've got a bit of a predicament then, I guess, with your note, Wellby.
I still don't trust your friend. Oh, we could confront your friend and ask him how he knows these things.
He will know them because he knows every criminal in this town. That's the kind of man he is.
Then he might be able to give us a clue as to who they are and where they are.
If he truly is innocent, as Wellby believes, by going to him, maybe that will put him in jeopardy.
Yes, he took the care to warn us, and he didn't tell us to do anything that would put us in danger. I say we either lie in wait in our original room and prepare for this attack, or we take his advice and sleep elsewhere and think no more of it.
They would probably find us anyway, so I think perhaps we just take watches and take turns resting.
But the captain should, I think, follow behind us and not enter the boarding house with us.
Very well.
All right, we'll see you soon, Captain. Well, let's go and find the old witch.
You walk through the doors, there's still people milling around, and she turns around and goes, oh, hello, dears.
This is Mrs. Doubtfire. We've been on the road all day, Mother. We must away to bed.
Yes, I know what you mean. There's a lot of tired people in this town.
So I'll go upstairs. Since I know the captain's coming, I'll wait out at the end of the corridor, see him come up the stairs.
It's definitely pitch black now outside. You hear footsteps coming up the staircase, and the captain emerges.
Yep, I'll beckon him over. If I leave the captain in the room with Talyn, can I conceal myself under the stairs? So I don't think there's anywhere else I can conceal myself, is there?
Yep. The captain sighs and turns to Talyn and says, don't suppose you have any cards, do you?
Sorry, fresh out. I don't think I've got anything entertainment-wise. I have some rope, a jar of pickles.
It's not that kind of adventure.
I suggest we get some rest, Captain.
Okay. Should we take it in shifts?
You can if you wish, but I'm going to sleep now. And I kind of start to tuck myself into bed.
A couple of hours passed. There's the occasional sounds from outside of people travelling back from the tavern. After a while, you do hear something. You can roll a perception check. Wellby.
Ooh.
You think it was just the wind. But before you know it, a couple of minutes later, coming up the stairs, you can see through the slits of the wood that you're under. You can roll a stealth check, but you'll roll it with disadvantage because you're a bit flustered by the surprise, which will be the 10. In shock, you kind of step back a bit and you make the wood that you're near creak a bit, but fortunately it doesn't appear to have gone noticed by the figures that now emerge from the staircase. You can roll another perception check to try and observe what they are.
Okay. I've gone blind.
You just see like shapes moving, so you don't even know whether they're human. Before you know it, the shapes have gone.
I will yell for the captain.
Okay, what are you going to yell?
Danger, there are people here.
Talyn, you can roll a perception check to see whether you hear that in your sleep. Captain will also roll a perception check with advantage. The captain jumps up. You will also awake straight away, so you can arm yourself in time. Suddenly, the door springs open. Down a figure in a cloak with a cowl covering his face and apparently a short sword in hand. Roll for initiative.
Roll initiative!
Firstly, it's one towards the back. He has just heard a shout, so he goes back into the corridor looking round. Roll another stealth check to see as you're automatically hidden at the start. He runs out looking round for someone with the crossbow in his hand and he fails to spot anyone. The other one, he will do the same. He moves forward. So again, he also fails to spot anything and he says, "What are you looking for? There's nothing here. Where did that voice come from?" The one that's just kicked in the door will step into the room. He will go for the smaller target, person he was looking for. He's armed with a scimitar. So I believe that will be a hit on the gnome.
Possibly, you're right, yes.
So he goes, "Ah! Take that!" and slashes you for 5 damage. The captain, who is in range, says, "Why don't you pick on someone your own size, lad?" Swings his sword, which will be a hit. Does 9 damage, and then goes for another attack with the same sword. And crits. So he thrusts the sword straight into the cowl, which goes through. Electrical sparks kind of fly off, and he pulls it out, and the man just goes flops onto the floor at the gnome's feet. Fortunately, he won't be much use for questioning. It's now Talyn's turn.
So I cast magic missiles.
Yep. They fly out around the corner and exploded. He screams, "Ah!" But he's still standing. I think you were awarded inspiration last time.
Let's go the whole hog. Let's cast magic missiles again.
Okay.
7 damage.
Okay, they fly in. And he does a bit of a somersault in the air and flies down back on the floor, seemingly brown bread. You still have your movement left as well.
Be brave and go out into the corridor.
The captain go first, you fool.
I feel emboldened.
Yep.
Just wasted a guy.
Then it will be Wellby's turn.
I will equip my short bow and I will fire, yes, the one closest to me.
So you get advantage on that, which is fortunate.
Yeah.
Because you got a 23. The arrow is dead on target. You can roll for damage. Straight in the chest, and he just slumps and collapses. Doesn't even make a noise.
Okay.
The other one just is like in shock and then looks towards the staircase.
I've still got my move, haven't I? He knows where I am. I can move out to, your friends are dead, stand down and we won't kill you.
He runs at you and he says, "Get out of me way, you worm!" and tries to move past you. You can get an opportunity attack on him.
Can I opportunity attack with short bow?
It would have to just be a basic attack. Critted.
I'm
That's a
punching
hit.
nuts. Yeah. Mac.
No.
My balls.
you critted, so it does the full 4 damage, and then on top of that you get the weapons crit dice, which would be a d4 that you roll. Okay.
Nice.
As you hit him, so the mask kind of comes off. You get a good look at his face. He's a human, basically. You don't recognise him as anyone you've seen before. He carries on running, charges down the stairs.
Give chase and see if we can tackle him or something. No, not with my tiny legs.
That's his turn done. It's the captain who steps over the bodies past Talyn and stop in front of Wellby, again stepping over another body, and says, "Is that all of them?"
First, I'm just going to run to about here and ask, where did he go?
And I'll reply, 1 more down the stairs. After him.
Yeah, I don't break pace and I keep going.
By the time you get down the stairs, the front door is swinging open now.
Okay, I can just make it out the door, I think. And then that's as far as we can go.
Wellby now.
So I can just about join Talyn outdoors. And
You don't see anyone.
as I pass him, I ask, which way?
The captain has enough pace to get down the stairs. Where did he go?
I didn't see where he went.
Oh, I can't see anything in this pitch black.
I'm going to suggest we head back in and see if any of them are recoverable to question.
He might not be gone yet.
I don't know. I think we've killed all of his friends and the 3 of us are still standing.
Well, you're the only one with dark
And it's-
vision.
But I didn't see where he went. By the time I got out, he'd gone, vanished. Could I check the bodies to see if I could likely stop them from dying?
Roll a medicine check. There are no signs of life as far as you can see.
Come from the one I shot in the chest. Blood gushing. Well, I'll check the one you magic missiled. Get a hold of yourself, man.
The
Yeah,
captain
chest compression.
ascertains that the man he stabbed through the brain with his sword of storms is indeed deceased. Wellby also has a look at the poor victim. Poor assassin on the ground in a heap, staring stone cold dead at him, not breathing, not moving.
I'm no doctor, but
Yeah.
3 of the rooms now are slightly ajar with people peering through nervously.
it's fine. It's all over now. Go back to sleep.
Go back to sleep. Can I search through the pockets of my guide to see if there's any identifying material on it?
There's 4 masks across the body that you're searching. You find 10 silver pieces. You find a handkerchief in one of his pockets. You find a copper ring, and you can roll a perception check for less obvious stuff. On the bottom of this man's boots, there is quite a lot of mud. The masks seem to be almost like stone. They're wearing leather armor, and on that armor you notice an interesting symbol. So it's a triangle, like that, but inside, in the centre, is a line going up, like that.
Can I ask Talyn to see if he knows it?
He can roll a history check. Not too long ago, at Waterdeep, you heard about some sort of water-based cult, and that also had a triangle symbol that you were aware of that looked more like that, with crossing tips at the top. It didn't have the line through it though, but it was a very simple symbol.
Yeah.
That had been spotted and mentioned about, just sort of in passing. This could be the same water cult, or it could be a similar cult. You're not too certain.
I will share this with the rest of them.
Since we're the law in this town, we'd better do something about these bodies. There's only one constable, all the rest of them are away.
The captain finds his badge and says, it's lucky we've got these, and kind of shows it to some of the nervous people. And one of them sees me and goes, oh, it's a captain! It's a captain, everyone!
It's lucky we've got a halo with
brave and handsome friends.
Yeah, brave and handsome midgets.
Quiet!
I flash my badge as well.
He says, he's got children as well!
She's got bearded children. Well, between the 3 of us, I guess we better take these bodies to the butcher shop. So,
You're hungry, my
Mystery
friend.
meats on store for the people at
well,
large.
you know, these
Why is he not
people,
one, though?
Mystery meat with pickles.
there could be evidence, you know, these people are involved in an investigation, and that's where the law takes place, I guess. And this
I
code
don't think a dwarf and a gnome are really going to struggle to drag these bodies out.
that's what the captain's for. He's really strong, and you know.
The captain kind of hoists one body up and struggles with it, but does actually manage to hold it at least, and then tries again. And says, "Oh, there we go. Perhaps you could drag a body downstairs together."
No. Between the two of us, I reckon we can manage it.
So both roll strength checks.
Can we use our deputies' badges to encourage the other residents to give us a hand?
You can use your persuasion skill.
Oh,
I'll try the same.
Yep.
I give an inspiring speech about helping your local constables.
yep. Not having rotting bodies in your inn.
The grumpy person who Wellby tries to convince goes, "Right, that's it, I've had enough. No more noise," and slams the door. However, the two remaining people get to hear the gnome plead his case, and the two other people say, "Well, yeah, Harburk owes us for this, just remember to tell him." And they give you a hand, which actually speeds the process up, and it ends up taking you about 20 minutes to get all the bodies across town. Yep, you're back in the centre, and all the bodies have been delivered. Upon hearing you enter this light, the other deputy kind of walks forward. "Who are they?"
Cutthroats. They attacked us in the night. There's one that got away. We didn't see where he went, but it's a human male. I'd know his face if I saw him again, but I've no identifying information for him.
"We better tell Harburk when he returns. Thanks for your duty. If you could just lead them a little bit away from the surfaces where we chop the meat, please. They're going to give me nightmares."
I think you owe my criminal friend an apology.
I'm not so sure yet.
For your suspicion. His note was true.
It was, but I wouldn't put it past him to have actually tipped off the very people that tried to kill us.
Well, we can think about this tomorrow. I suggest tomorrow we make haste and get up prepared to travel to Balliard together.
Aye. Well, to bed then.
Go to the captain's room this time.
There's only one bed in the captain's room.
Or we can just top and tail in the captain's bed. It's quite big. Captain in the middle, and then we're over the side of him.
A few hours pass. Light comes up. You can rest a bit longer to get the full advantages of the rest and back to full health if you want, and recharge your spells. The captain is already putting on his chainmail. He says, "Right, we need a plan for today.
Aye.
I could try and acquire a wagon from one of the wagon stores. I suggest you look for a map and any other equipment that you may need for the journey."
Okay.
Aye, sounds like a plan. We know somebody who has a lot of random crap lying around. It's Mr. Valavar from the sundry shop, our fellow Harper. So I say we head there.
You walk past the town centre again. As usual, there's the children playing on the wagon in the centre of town and the people milling about. Valivo greets you.
Hello, my little friends. How is Harper business doing?
We failed to find the delegation in the cavern we were exploring.
That's unfortunate.
The delegation, I'm told, is in Balliard. It's a couple of days to the northeast. We need a map. Do you have a map of the area?
He walks away, comes back with a map. This is a detailed map. Roll a investigate check on this. It seems clear that, and Valbo kind of looks over, kind of assisting you, that probably the most direct route would be to travel through the Sumber Hills. There is the large path which travels through there. Valivo mentions, "Oh yes, trade wagons go through there very often. Just don't venture off the path and you'll be fine." It will take a couple of days, I imagine. Maybe a day and a half if you're fast.
Aye, we were told it was 2 days.
He says, "Oh, and you'll get to travel across the stone bridge, a very historic landmark. The dwarves built that hundreds and hundreds of years ago."
Sounds like an ideal place for a shield dwarf historian.
I've managed to acquire more of those healing potions.
I think I can afford another one. Was it 25 gold, my friend?
Sounds fair for a fellow Harper.
Do you sell any tents by any chance?
Yes, I do sell camping equipment, yes. Let me go and have a look.
He comes back with kind of a quite bulky tent, but when he hands it over to you, it's actually quite light even for a gnome.
4 people can sleep in that.
Sounds great. How much?
5 silver, if you wouldn't mind.
That sounds like a fair price.
One of Valivo's small children runs in behind you.
Mr. Valivo! Mr. Valivo!
Yes, child. What is it? Don't be shy. These are friends. The town, the big hole in the town.
Slow down, child. What are you babbling on about? There's a big hole in the centre of town, and people fell in. Here in Red Larch, there's no hole. No, it just opened up.
Can you take us to it?
It's right in the centre.
To the
Okay,
dwarf
well.
mobile.
Okay.
Yeah, I ran outside.
As you approach the scene, you can roll a insight check. Wellby approaches and he sees a lot of panicked people around what looks to be a huge gaping sinkhole. There are several children dotted around who are kind of covered in earth and look a bit bruised and battered, but otherwise don't seem too harmed. There's a lot of panicked people walking around, and some people kind of looking over the edge into the hole.
Get a bit closer, I guess. What happened? What's gone on?
A man with a child nearby says, "This hole just appeared from nowhere. The wagon, it went straight into it. The children, the poor children, went straight in."
A wagon? Oh, the children on the wagon, of course.
Another man walking around, looking a bit agitated, comes closer. He seems a bit grubby. He smells quite awful as he walks past.
Get away from here, everyone! You shouldn't be here. This is not a matter for commoners.
And the people are just ignoring him. A large woman also walks past and she says,
Everyone, move away in case you fall in. Leave this to the elders.
I'm going to get right to the edge of the pit and look down to see what I can see.
roll a dexterity save.
Oh, can I grab him before he falls?
He does start to slip and he hangs on. He is struggling to hold on. You can try to grab him. Roll a strength check.
Oh,
He starts to pull you in now.
damn you, gnome! Help!
The
Help! I yell.
commoner who you were just speaking to sees if he can grab hold of you. The large woman walks over and hoists you up, lifting both of you in each hand, says,
Get away from here. No one must disturb the delvers.
Who?
The other man goes,
It's nothing to do with you. The stones must not be moved.
the man you remember from yesterday, the village elder, Elak Dornan, also approaches, and the other two people look at him and no words are spoken. Roll an insight check. Wellby is focused on the strange interaction between these three people, whereas Talyn is actually a little bit distracted. He's more interested in the actions of a couple of the commoners from further back. He spots a couple of them and then recognizes that they seem to be wearing the same cloaked hoods as the assailants from the other evening. They are looking past at this large woman. You see her nod to them.
Alright, I'll march right up to the village elder we spoke to yesterday. What's going on here, Dornan?
He says, I have
You know-
no idea.
You seem to know these people.
Yes, this is Alberi and Uluro. They're all village elders.
What are they talking about, these delvers and these stones?
Less interested in any stories about delvers and stones and more about that hole and how we're going to fix it up. I think everyone should keep away from it. The smelly man comes and goes,
Everyone's accounted for now. Come on, we can all move away.
the woman you just see shouting to the two cloaked figures that you can see.
Go now, quickly.
And the two figures that she was waving to start to head north. You see they're joined by another couple of people that they emerge from some of the alleys.
Try and walk around the edge of the hole towards the north and grab Talyn to get him to come along as well.
Head towards the uniformed gentleman.
More people join up until there are about 6 people ahead. You can still see them, but they seem to be heading up north to parts of the village you haven't really visited yet.
Can we follow them at a distance?
You can both roll stealth checks. They don't appear to indicate that they've noticed you. Eventually they head eastwards into what appears to be a quite large quarry. You arrive in the quarry just in time to see them in part of the quarry where there's a big sign. You can't quite make it out at this distance, but there's some red writing on the sign. They seem to be shifting rocks. You start to get closer and closer, but as you get them, they've disappeared into the tunnel. As you get closer, you see that the sign says, "Danger, keep out," inside the quarry.
Mm-hmm.
I would suggest we go find the captain before proceeding.
I concur.
You recall that in this section of town there was a wagon works that was deemed to be the posh wagon works. At number 5 on the map, there's 3 buildings there. There's a sign on the door to the easternmost building that says Thalorn Safe Journeys Workshop. building behind you says showroom. There's no sign on the third building to the north.
I'll check the workshop. Talyn, you check the showroom.
Yeah, you open the door and there are many workers hard at work in that building, crafting all parts of wagonry. In the meantime, Talyn walks into the showroom that seems to have a few finished carriages of different design. There's a man in there and he says,
Hey, you look like you're the kind of gnome that could do with a wagon.
I'm actually looking for my friend, the captain. Have you seen him?
I don't know any captain, there's no waters near here.
Okay, I roll my eyes and walk out again.
For my part, I'll yell to the foreman. Have you seen a man with a hook for a hand? He should have been in here just now.
I am Thorsk, I've not seen any man with a hook for his hand.
I must take my leave, I'm in a hurry. Thank you, good sir. To Wilbur's wagon works we must go.
You head back to the centre. Right near the hall in there is Wilbur's wagon works. A rather grumpy looking man greets you with a grunt and he says,
You here to buy or here for a repair?
We're looking for a friend who may have come here to rent or buy a wagon. He goes by the title of the captain and he has a hook for a hand. Have you seen him, good sir?
No, I've not seen anyone matching that description.
Curses, where could he be?
How many wagon places in Red Larch?
Just 2, mine, and if you want an inferior wagon, you head to the north.
Talyn, I think we're gonna.
Suspicious.
I think we're gonna have to handle this on our own if we can't find the captain.
Okay, let's head back to the quarry.
There's still people crowded round and you head north past them, back up to the quarry, and you get to the entrance again. And
I guess we're gonna have to clear some of the rocks out of the way if we're gonna go inside.
you start to move the rocks out of the way. Fortunately, most of them aren't too heavy for you to lift, but there are quite a few of them. After a while, you've cleared it past and you can see the tunnel going through.
I guess we enter the tunnel.
The tunnel is actually very muddy and it seems to be going down lower into the earth. After about 200 feet of travelling through this tunnel, you've reached a small wooden door that's, say, about here.
Can I attempt to open the door?
You boldly go forward, open the door, and hear a clank and a chain spinning. Behind you, rocks start to pile in across this tunnel as a sort of hatch kind of opens up. It has sealed the exit. It appears to be that the only way forward is in this dark tunnel, which you're now standing in.
I look to the camera and go, oh, SpaghettiOs.